This thesis repositions select figures from the African diaspora: Aboubakar II, Queen Nanny of the Maroons, Crispus Attucks, Olaudah Equiano, and Black Caesar, not merely as historical actors, but as sacred archetypes, deified embodiments of resistance, wisdom, protection, and truth. Through a decolonized lens, these individuals are examined not as marginal characters in Western historical narratives, but as gods, angels, and prophets of liberation. Their lives challenge the dichotomy between the secular and the sacred, and invite a theological reimagining of divinity rooted in Black struggle and spiritual endurance. Traditional historical frameworks have often relegated African and diasporic heroes to the margins, recounting their stories through the lens of oppression rather than divinity. This work seeks to recontextualize such figures as sacred entities, not merely rebels or activists, but incarnations of divine force who manifested godlike attributes in their resistance to colonial domination, systemic dehumanization, and cultural erasure. Chapter 1. Aboubakar II, the Prophet of Discovery and Sacred Curiosity. Aboubakar II, the Malian emperor who abdicated his throne to explore the vast unknown waters of the Atlantic, embodies the archetype of the sacred seeker. In a historical context often dominated by European narratives of exploration, Aboubakar's journey reclaims maritime destiny as a Black, royal, and prophetic endeavor. He represents divine curiosity, an echo of the mythic hero's journey, driven not by conquest but by the sacred pursuit of knowledge and connection. Chapter 2. Queen Nanny of the Maroons, the angelic strategist of ancestral protection. Queen Nanny's leadership over the Maroon resistance in Jamaica is not merely an act of guerrilla warfare. It is a manifestation of spiritual warfare. Her reputed supernatural abilities, unmatched military tactics, and unwavering protection of her people align her with the archetype of the warrior angel or divine guardian. She occupies a liminal space between spirit and matter, commanding both with ancestral authority. Chapter 3. Crispus Attucks, the martyr of revolutionary fire. Crispus Attucks, the first to fall during the Boston Massacre, serves as a martyred prophet within American revolutionary mythology. His death precedes the formation of the United States, positioning him as a sacrificial figure, one whose blood consecrated the soil of a nascent nation that had yet to recognize his full humanity. Through this lens, Attucks becomes a Christ-like symbol, rejected by the system, yet central to its transformation. Chapter 4. Olaudah Equiano, the Scribe of Sacred Testimony. Equiano's autobiographical narrative stands as one of the earliest published works by a person of African descent, yet it transcends autobiography. His words function as scripture, documenting trauma while offering spiritual insight and advocating for justice with prophetic conviction. Equiano's mastery of language and his moral clarity elevate him to the status of a divine messenger whose testimony reshaped the conscience of a world empire. Chapter 5. Black Caesar, the pirate as avatar of chaotic divinity. Black Caesar, often romanticized as a pirate, must instead be recognized as a rebellious figure of divine chaos, a force of disruption in the face of systemic tyranny. His defiance of enslavement and command of the sea position him within African diasporic traditions as a vessel of Ogun, the Orisha of iron and warfare. He is not villain but deity of resistance, his ship a floating sanctuary of freedom carved out of imperial waters. These figures, though diverse in geography, method, and legacy, share a common thread: their actions disrupted the dominant power structures and gave birth to new possibilities for dignity, autonomy, and collective memory. When viewed through a sacred framework, they emerge not merely as heroes of resistance, but as divine agents whose lives redefined what it means to be holy. They are our gods, not because they ruled the heavens, but because they changed the earth. They are our angels, not because they bore wings, but because they bore burdens. They are our prophets, not because they told the future, but because they made one.